Well, one of the things that did draw me to Fordham, certainly in terms of teaching, was really the small classes, that I would have the opportunity to work directly with students. Intellectually, that really mattered to me.
I don't know about you, but when most students hear that someone is the dean of their university, there are some pretty strong preconceived notions out there. Someone stuffy, boring, who can't really relate on a truly meaningful level with the students that he or she serves. If the students of Fordham College at Rose Hill thought anything like most students, they're in for a very pleasant surprise when they meet Michael Latham. For one thing, he definitely doesn't have the same old background as most academic deans.
I grew up in Hawaii, and my father was a Navy officer. My grandfather was also a Navy officer, and I grew up literally at Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor was really my backyard.
And this wasn't just a born in Hawaii deal. Latham was truly an islander. He attended the Punahou School, which, as you may know,
It was the same school that President Obama went to. I didn't know him. He was a little older than I was, so I might have seen him in the cafeteria or something in the distance, but that was it. And from Hawaii, I went to Pomona College, which is a liberal arts college in Southern California.
after high school, it was off to Pomona College in Southern California. And after giving some thought to going into law, or following in his father and grandfather's footsteps and becoming a naval officer, Latham realized that his true calling was elsewhere.
And I was very happy in the classroom. I was really happy teaching. I liked my students, and I thought to myself, well, if I really enjoy history and I really enjoy teaching, maybe I should go get a doctorate.
And after the newly minted Dr. Latham got his PhD in history from UCLA, it was on to finding the right place. What set Fordham apart?
Not only the intellectual rigor of the place, the reputation for academic excellence, but also the mission of the institution, the commitment to social justice, the commitment to pursuing a kind of education that helps students discover their abilities and then use them in service. To me, that was really very attractive.
And after 15 years of dedicated classroom service and intellectual stimulation, Dr. Latham got the opportunity to take his next career step. After 2 successful years as interim dean, he was appointed full-time dean of Fordham College of Rose Hill before the 2011 school year. And although some students may not see a big difference between being a professor and being a dean, Latham begs to differ.
Well, it's changed quite a bit. One of the really rewarding things about doing this job is that I get to work with a tremendous group of people in offices where as a faculty member I didn't have as much contact.
Working with Stephen Friedman, the Fordham provost, among other administrators and faculty members was a new experience that Latham cites as a positive one about being dean. And almost immediately, Dean Latham instilled in Fordham a new focus. But executing the vision is not always easy.
It is an ongoing challenge. There are some areas where your authority as a dean is very clear. You have a goal, you have an objective, you have the resources independently that you need to pursue that objective, and you can just do it. The creation of a comprehensive undergraduate research program was a good example. That was something that my office could just do. But most of the goals that you try to set out are not so simple. Most of the goals that you set out require building consensus, getting other people to try to recognize the value of what you're trying to accomplish, helping them understand why these are things that they should care about too, and trying to get people invested in a shared vision of what you want to achieve. There are days when you wish you could just sort of, make it so. You just want to do it, right? The Starship Enterprise, you're going to make it so. But frankly, that's not the way it works.
Dr. Latham, then, has to deal with a lot of things in his day. In addition to his normal duties as a professor, he now faces days dominated by meetings, dozens upon dozens of time-sensitive emails, and interacting with a different sector of the college every single day. Sounds like a schedule most college students might fold under.
But all that said, I love the job. All that said, I really love the work, and I'm really very proud to work with the students and faculty here. It's, it's challenging, but it's Fordham's a special place, and it's really it's very satisfying.
It seems as though the oldest college in the Jesuit University of New York is in very capable hands. Speaking of Jesuits, Dr. Latham speaks to the importance of Fordham's identity as an Ignatian school.
Certainly one of the things that we want to do is to help students come to see, as Jesuits would put it, to see God in all things. And one of the ways that we do that, I think, is by continually bringing students to that intersection of faith and reason. Also, if our students come away from their educations with a better sense of who they are and who they might become, that's also worth doing.
There is a place for science in all of this, though. Dean Latham acknowledges many positives that come with the technological explosion, with information so readily at our fingertips. Still, though, arguably the biggest champion of research at Fordham does have his reservations.
How much reflection can you put in a Twitter or a tweet? How much serious engagement or real conversation, profound conversation and exchange goes into something that you do on Facebook? One of the tendencies too, I think, is that this sort of constant demand to respond to so many stimuli all the time means that one of the fears is that students will have a harder time doing the kind of sustained reflection it takes to read, to think, to write. It's always alarmed me when I've seen students who just can't seem to put their BlackBerry down. Whether it's in class or talking with friends or in a meeting, at some point you have to be able to give something undivided attention. And so that's one of the things that, it can be a powerful tool, but I guess my own impression is that it also requires a fair amount of discipline and care in the way it's used.
So you've heard it here first. Put down that iPhone and pick up a book. The new dean of Fordham College challenges students to give whatever they happen to be doing their undivided attention. In today's information revolution, isn't that a novel idea? For Eye on Fordham, I'm Joe Torty.